Our next story is from Western Europe, specifically Germany and France. Both nations are reeling under fresh protests, which threaten to hurt their economies. We'll start with Germany. Train drivers in the country have gone on strike against the German rail operator Deutsche Bahn. This is the second industrial action this month. The first was a 3-day walkout between the 10th and 12th of January. And this time, the strike is for 6 days, till next Monday. It's the longest continuous strike in Deutsche Bahn's history.
The strike participation is very high, and that was already reflected in the vote last December. It's noticeable, 80% of trains are cancelled.
The German train union GDL is behind the strike. What do they want? Fewer working hours, but the same pay. They've been pushing for this for months. Negotiations have been stalled. The last meeting took place in November, and neither side seems to be budging, hence the strike. It may or may not move the rail company, but it will bring rail transport in Germany to a grinding halt, and it may also derail the German economy.
This 6-day GDL strike has massive implications on the economy. If you will, the GDL is also on strike against the economy in Germany and Europe.
We recently discussed Germany's economy. It's in recession. The forecast is weak, and they may see back-to-back years of recession. And events like this train strike certainly won't help.
The strike itself will not trigger a recession, but it will throw sand in the gears of an engine that is not running smoothly anyway. And all of us know that we are currently facing a number of burdens. We really don't need this on top.
He spoke about a number of burdens. One of them is the German farmers' protest. German farmers have brought their tractors to the streets. They've been surrounding major cities, demanding agricultural subsidies. And this form of protest seems to have spread across the border to neighboring France. Farmers in France are also protesting. In southern France, they've blocked major roads with tractors. They say they're fighting to protect their profession and that agriculture is becoming unsustainable because of what they call excessive green regulation. These are basically new rules meant to combat climate change, like the removal of subsidies on diesel for agriculture. Of course, farmers don't like it. But this has far-reaching implications for France. It is the European Union's biggest agricultural producer. France has thousands of independent meat, dairy and wine producers. They say that increased green regulation is driving up costs, and this is driving them out of business. The French farmers are directing their anger at the government, and not just the French government.
The anger is great, it runs deep. The crisis is deep, and everywhere in France today, we need to be heard by our politicians, by our government. But above all, we need to move at the European level.
EU regulations have angered farmers in both France and Germany, so the EU is being blamed for their troubles. Elections will be held in June for the European Parliament, and as the polls approach, these protesters are hoping to find political support. It's a challenge that Europe cannot wish away. Unless they find a way to quell public anger, more protests will spring up in the coming months. And all this unrest will continue to rock Europe's faltering economy.